Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about importing records into your address book. So I'm here in the Survey Manager in the main console. I'm going to go under Account Settings and click on Address Book. Here we are in the address book. We actually have two versions of the address book, one for mobile here and one for online. And we're focusing primarily on the online, given it has more functionality and is most commonly used to import your lists that then will be used to distribute online surveys through email invitations. So this is where you can manage, import, export, do everything you would want to do with your customer lists for distributing online surveys. So here we have a list of the variety of different email lists that have been imported, the number of contacts per list, who created them, since you can have multiple sub-accounts, and those would be listed here. And some action items and modify. And if you click modify contacts, then you'll see all the contacts within this particular list, and you can either delete, edit, etc. And you also have bulk actions where if you have multiple pages, you can do multiple actions all at once or view more than 10 records at a time, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. And I'm going to now navigate to the sidebar and click Add Contacts, because what we're focusing on in this tutorial is how to bring in, import records into your address book. So you have several options. You can either import into an existing list, or I can create a new list. So I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it Sample List 3, since I already have a Sample List 2, and save that. And it automatically highlights or checks the checkbox accordingly. And I will click Next. And I have three options of importing. I can either do it manually by typing in, don't recommend that, or you can import by file. We support CSV, text, or Excel. Or you can copy from other lists and merge lists together. So why don't we go ahead and do it the easiest way and import a list here. Yes, my file does contain a header record, and header record is simply the labels at the top of each column. And I'm going to choose the file. I think it's over in my temp. Yes, it is. There it is. And submit. So I'm importing a file that only has 3 columns, first name, last name, email address, and that's why we have 3 drop downs adjacent to first records data, just to confirm the system's detected correctly how to map the labeling convention of your data. So if you had 10 columns in this file you're importing, you would see 10 drop downs here. And if the system's incorrectly mapped, you can always do it manually. Like if I change that to address instead of last name, I could do so. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. And it's smart enough to see I have 2 duplicate because this is actually first name. So let me correct that. It's telling me I had a duplicate column because I had last name here and last name here. So I'm going to submit, and contacts added successfully. I have 29 records in my new list, and that all looks fine. So let's say I wanted to, okay, we just created a new list. Let's say I want to add or import records into an existing list. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select a list. Let's just use the one we just created. And I will, I'm in actually the wrong screen. So I'm going to go to Add, Edit. I'm going to select the list I want to add to. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to do it the same way just for it to be expedient here. Click Next. Yes, I have a header row. Choose my file. There it is. And submit. And I get the same confirmation. That's all correct. Submit. And it says contacts added successfully, but an important note here. It's telling me duplicate email addresses were not added. And given we just basically added the same file, the 29 records that we had just added previously, that means all 29 were duplicate. And you'll see here we would expect otherwise 58 records, but we only have 29, which is what we had originally, because all 29 were duplicates. And that's a way that the system checks your importing, the files you're importing for any duplicate records, so that you can avoid having, sending out emails to people more than once inadvertently. So that really covers what I wanted to discuss relative to importing files into your address book. Thank you very much.